Let me tell you the story.
A hill station trip. When the group heard footsteps from the dark side of the tunnel, they panicked. Their flashlights flickered, and everyone began to run outside. Neha, running behind, suddenly heard a faint voice. "Save me!" She stopped. It sounded like a little child asking for help. She looked at her friends. They were already far ahead. Confused and afraid, Neha turned toward the voice. She stepped deeper into the darkness and vanished. The guest house. The friends returned, terrified. They sat in silence, thinking of Neha and remembering the caretaker's warning from before. They told him everything and begged for help, but the caretaker grew angry. "You should not have gone there," he said. "I will seek help. Stay inside." He left the guest house with his lantern. Minutes passed. The friends remained disturbed, unable to sit still. Finally, Arjun spoke. "I will go back and search for Neha." The others tried to stop him. But after some talk, Karan decided to join him. Surav and Riya stayed behind. Arjun and Karan walked through the misty forest. Then they heard it, a faint voice. It was Neha. They ran toward the sound and found her, standing alone in the middle of the forest. Her face was blank, her body still. Arjun reached out to touch her, and in that instant, she disappeared. Both froze in fear. Then, from the mist, came a sound, a child's giggle. The giggle grew louder, circling them in the fog. Terrified, they ran, and soon found themselves at the tunnel again. Just as they were about to step inside, a sharp voice cut through the silence. "Stop!" It was the caretaker. His voice was urgent. "We should leave. Something terrible is happening here." Arjun and Karan protested, but the caretaker pleaded with them. At last, they turned back. As they walked away, Arjun looked one last time at the tunnel, and he saw her, a little girl, standing at the mouth of the tunnel. Her torn frock fluttered in the wind. Her dark eyes stared at him. Then, in a blink, she vanished, leaving Arjun in shock. Back at the guest house, the caretaker told everyone to rest. "Morning, I will find help to search for your friend," he said. Everyone drifted to their rooms. None of them could truly sleep. That night, Arjun drifted into a restless dream. In his dream, he was standing inside the tunnel, looking towards the endless darkness. Then, she appeared, the little girl. She stood in front of him, her eyes too dark. Slowly, she raised her hand and pointed at the wall. And before Arjun could see what she was pointing at, she vanished. Arjun woke with a jolt, sweat running down his face. He sat up, looked around. It was morning. The morning light crept through the cracks of the old guest house. Everyone looked pale, lost in their own thoughts. Arjun stepped outside and found the caretaker standing still, staring into the forest. Arjun walked to him and asked, "What is happening here?" The old man looked towards everyone and finally spoke. "Long ago, when the tunnel was first being built, it kept collapsing. No matter how many times the workers tried, the walls would fall. The villagers began to believe the mountain itself was angry, and to calm it, they decided to offer a sacrifice. Little girl. She was left at the entrance of the tunnel crying, calling for her parents, but no one came. She died there, and from that day on, the tunnel was never the same." His voice grew heavier. After her death, everything changed. People disappeared. Voices were heard in the mist. Many believe it is her ghost. People who disappeared in that tunnel were never seen again. The caretaker finished the story. The group fell into silence. Arjun stood up and said, "I can't just sit here. I'm going to find Neha." Others stood to join him, but he stopped them. He told them to stay behind and try to get help. The caretaker warned him not to go, but Arjun didn't listen. He left the guest house and walked towards the forest path. Inside, the remaining friends gathered around the caretaker. Surav asked quietly, "Has anyone ever come back alive?" The caretaker hesitated, his eyes lowered. At last, he whispered a single name, "Asha." Back at the tunnel, Arjun stepped into the cold silence. Looking towards, the name scratched deep into the stone. Then he heard it, the voice of a little girl. He turned, and she was there. The little girl stood smiling at him, her eyes hollow. She lifted her hand and pointed at the wall. And in the next blink, she vanished. Arjun's flashlight shook as he turned toward where she had pointed. And there it was, a name carved into the wall, Asha. Below it, faint writing, "The girl who lived." At the guest house, the group asked the caretaker about Asha. The caretaker said she was also a tourist, just like them. One day, she vanished, but after a few days, she was found near the tunnel. She was not the same. She spoke in riddles, repeating names. Soon after, she left the place. No one really knows what happened to her after that. Hearing this, the group felt disappointed. At the tunnel, Arjun was looking deep inside when he heard a voice at the entrance. "You can't find your friend with just the torch." Arjun turned and saw a man walking toward him holding a book. He introduced himself as Kabir, a paranormal investigator. Arjun asked what he meant, but Kabir only said they would discuss it later, and that they should leave the tunnel for now. Arjun had no choice but to follow him back to the guest house. At the guest house, Kabir introduced himself to the group. He told them calmly that he knew how they could bring Neha back, but they would have to wait until night. He explained what needed to be done. The group listened carefully and agreed. That night, all of them entered the tunnel for the last time. Kabir drew 2 circles on the ground, one large, where the group would stand, and one small for an offering. He told the friends to apologize to the spirit. As instructed, they began to speak. "We are sorry for what happened to you. We cannot change the past, but we remember your sacrifice." Arjun then placed a small wooden doll in the smaller circle. For a moment, nothing happened. The tunnel was silent. Then Kabir spoke. "Meera, please accept this gift and return our friend." The tunnel shook. The little girl appeared in front of them. She picked up the wooden doll, smiled at the group, and disappeared. From the shadows, Neha walked out. The friends rushed to her, overjoyed. The next morning, they thanked Kabir and left the valley together. After they were gone, Kabir's phone rang. He answered quietly, "Everything is fine, Asha. They are safe."